So 3 ranked replays. Emil, it's pronounced like a mill, like a million. Got it. Thank you for the info. So we got Firstkiller in the orange, iRicky in the blue. Last time I casted Firstkiller's ranked replays, he swung by my chat and said he was in a slump at the time. We did see him losing once to iRicky and once to Wiz. So let's see how he does in the more recent games. Firstkiller has been climbing that 1v1 ranked leaderboard. So he must be in pretty good form. iRicky, the NA Khaled, at least in the sense of playstyle. He loves to bounce dribble and play for the shooties as his main offensive strategy, which is really cool to see because not many players in America prioritize that. It's usually the aerial game kind of stuff like AJ, or the ball carrying kind of style, more like Lion Blaze, for example. Yeah, 1-1 already. And oh, that's a great fake. Firstkiller with a wave dash is going to score a second goal. That's a beauty. iRicky wanted to catch at least a piece of that ball, but he didn't. And he's been scored on again. Thank you, by the way, to Bim Bam Badoom. I said your name right for once. For the 12-month Prime. And also Massa Rustin for the brand new Prime. Matt Brodo for the 7-month Prime. And Vacanis for the 49-month and the Tier 3. How you doing, man? Gotta give Vacanis a special shout out. I ninja invited him to some threes games the other day. It was a blast. We were just farming, straight farming the European ladder. Nothing else to be said about those games. M-Dog, thanks for 57-month Tier 1. That's astounding. And Ambiorix with a brand new Prime. Welcome to the channel. So 1 goal back there for iRicky. As Firstkiller at the moment, extremely sharp. Very clean mechanically. I think he will have a bit of a speed advantage in this matchup. But iRicky is no slouch. And he is extremely good positionally. And Firstkiller's got to look out for those mind games, those 50-50s. Right now iRicky's kind of looking for one, but Firstkiller doesn't fall for it. But it's a pretty decent recovery. I think iRicky should be okay here. Firstkiller's forced to pinch it way over him. Thank you, by the way, it's a big flannel 333 with a brand new Prime. Thanks for all these brand new Prime subs, guys. Oh, look at that from first. iRicky's doing a really good job to keep up with him here, because Firstkiller's had some extremely clean turns while hitting the ball. It's quite hard to, turn, hit the ball, beat your opponent to it, because when you do impact the ball, of course, your car slows down slightly. They've got an advantage in that regard. But yeah, how many of you guys, just in other news, saw my tweet today? I've got a little bit of info, a little bit of a backstory, or explanation of why that happened. I tweeted out which region is the fastest: NA, EU, Middle East, and then the 4th option was SAM/OCE. You can only do 4 options on Twitter polls, or else I would have done both separately. And I think NA won the poll pretty substantially, unless it's changed since then. NA took more than half the votes. EU and Middle East took maybe 25-15% of the votes respectively, and nobody's voting for SAM and OCE really. So I'm not surprised. I think that was the expected outcome, and I was kind of hoping for that outcome. But yeah, the reason I tweeted that is because I'm going to be revealing the true answer to that question, backed up by statistics, live on the podcast tonight. So in 1 hour, just over an hour tonight, we're going to be starting the podcast, probably towards the middle or the end of that. I'm going to be revealing the correct answer. So we'll see if Twitter, we'll see if the average Rocket League viewer was right in voting NA. But yeah, we'll take a look at the stats. I'm not going to tell you what I think. I'll just tell you what the stats say. So yeah, it's gonna be really fun. I'm looking forward to talking about that with Dazzer and Roldiz and T-Bates. You're all massive NA fanboys. It's gonna be great. So I definitely encourage you guys to tune in and stick around for this. It's gonna be so good. It's gonna be a fun conversation. Trust me. Love the timing on that by iRicky. What a save though by Firstkiller. Firstkiller, despite running into iRicky's very unique style for North America. Like I said, I don't think anybody else at the highest level in NA can really do this style that iRicky does anywhere near as well as he does. I'm extremely impressed with his timing. His feints are extremely convincing. But Firstkiller, oh my goodness, what a monster of a double that is. iRicky just had to hope he was missing. There is no way that he's going to save that. So he just had to go to the boost in the corner and hope Firstkiller misses. Again, it is going to be a mind game by iRicky, and he's changing levels very well here. Mind games, 50-50s, flicks, you know, bounce dribble into shots. He's got lots and lots of very good options there. I don't think he's as impressive as Khaled is with this style. I don't think anybody's near Khaled's level with this style. But iRicky is still very, very good. I mean, when I say that he's not as impressive as Khaled, you know, it's like saying, well, Buzz Aldrin wasn't exactly the first person on the moon, was he? Like, you're still, you know, you're still up there. You're still doing pretty good. So I wouldn't really be too sad about it. Speaking of Khaled, are you guys, have many of you guys been tuning into apparently Jack's recent YouTube videos of his matches against Khaled? I've been loving the content from Jack. Got to give him another shout out. Such a great matchup, and it's amazing that we're being given so many looks at it. It's very rare that you see two of the absolute best in the world, and I think Jorius is the only guy on Khaled and Jack's level right now. We've seen them play so many times, which is, it's really cool. Really, really cool to see. BTEG801, thanks for the 39-month Prime, and also Sofa Set with the brand new Prime, and KFK Rock with the 19-month Prime. Welcome back, welcome and welcome back. That ends game 1. Well, it's not technically over just yet, but it will be in a second. There it is. As Firstkiller takes down iRicky in very impressive fashion. He had good reads on iRicky's tricky. He really does put the Ricky in tricky. Very, very tricky offense to deal with. But clearly Firstkiller's got, you know, experience against this. I would imagine, I've not talked to him about the topic, but I would imagine that it's mostly his games against iRicky that have given him practice against this style. Not that it's completely unique to him, but yeah, he definitely does it the best. Yeah, I think Firstkiller, clear advantage in the air. I think stronger defender than iRicky overall when he's in form. And yeah, those snappy ground shots are always going to be a threat. Firstkiller has probably one of the hardest, definitely one of the hardest, maybe the hardest ground shot in the game. Just from random positions in the field. Now I think players like Khaled, he generates more power from a bounce dribble than anyone else, but just talking about your average power that you're able to generate compared to what is possible, I think nobody can do it better than Firstkiller in Rocket League, not just in 1v1, but in the world. This guy has the ability to just get the most power out of a shot than anyone else. So that is a constant threat. That is what backs up Firstkiller's opponents. Oh dear, he's hit the post on that one, completely all in, and I think iRicky scored. Yep, that's going to make it for a tie game. Yeah, that constant threat. You know, okay, it's Firstkiller on the other side of the field. I need to be worrying about the long shot at all times because he's never going to get it wrong. Every single shot that he takes is going to be the boomerest boomer you've ever boomed. He's got a flip here, you're joking. Firstkiller with a flip reset dunk. And then the rebound as well. That's outrageous. What a goal. And iRicky was pretty quick in the recovery, but still couldn't get there. Just unreal. And these are back-to-back games, guys. I've not cherry-picked these games. These games were played one after another. Firstkiller is just... he's farming montage clips in consecutive ranked games. As you do. Jack win Khaled every time. You know, I've said many times in the past, they go back and forth. Sometimes they, you know, trade games. Sometimes Khaled beats Jack a bunch in a row. Sometimes Jack beats Khaled a bunch in a row. I think in the recent video that Jack's been uploading, he's been beating Khaled for some ridiculous streak. But the games are all really good, so I was having a great time watching them. All very close, and Jack's just looking clutch in the Fennec. I'm very impressed with Jack's Fennec play. So solid. And yeah, his decision making is already absolutely top tier. So when you back up that with, you know, decision making with maybe a better 50-50, maybe a better kickoff, it's going to be tough to beat. The Big Slurp, thanks to the 9-month tier 1. Welcome back to the channel. Yeah, Jack is currently rank 1 by a mile. I think he's like almost 100 points ahead of anyone else. Because him and Khaled played so many games against each other, and Jack won almost all of them. So when you're rank 1 and rank 2 playing against each other, and somebody wins them all, yes, you're going to come out with a huge lead. It's not like they have to farm. I mean, these guys are used to big win streaks against other players, but not so much against each other. So yeah, usually, you know, you beat a guy who's ranked 20 10 times in a row, you get maybe, you know, 30 points from that if you beat them a whole pile of times. But yeah, they started off extremely close together, so now Jack's been climbing. I'm sure Khaled will bounce back though. I love the fact that Jack and Khaled, like, it doesn't matter who's beating the other guy. They just keep queuing. And I talked to Jack about this because I was curious what his take on it was. You know, a lot of other players, if they lose maybe, you know, 2, maybe 3 times in a row, oh dear, Ricky's not got the read on that bounce. Firstkiller is going to slow roll him here as well. Ricky's going to have to come back. But yeah, a lot of other players, when they lose 2 or 3 games in a row against someone, they're just going to queue up a different game mode, or they're going to stop queuing entirely. They're not going to keep queuing, and they're not going to keep on giving that guy more wins. But Jack and Khaled just don't stop. When they realize that they're the only 2 people queuing, they just keep going. They play against each other so many times, and they've done this many, many occasions. You know, most recently at the end of Season 2, it was Khaled who was beating Jack every time, and Jack kept queuing. That's what enabled Khaled to get 1800. And now at the start of Season 3, Jack was beating Khaled every time, and Khaled keeps queuing. He doesn't care. They just keep on playing. And now Jack's nearly 1800, so I love that. You know, they're really just there for the games. They just want to play good games. Not caring. They don't really care about the points. They just they love to play each other with the ranked on the line. And Firstkiller is crushing iRicky in this game. I think Ricky definitely fell off a bit in offense, and Firstkiller hasn't stopped. He hasn't slowed down for a split second. Who's iRicky? Is he a new player? He's definitely a lot newer than Firstkiller. But yeah, he's absolutely top tier NA right now. I'd put iRicky in the top 5 for sure. I mean, if Firstkiller's back in form, he'll probably be top 5, no questions. If AJ doesn't sleep in, he's probably top 5 as well, NA. These days, you got to put iRicky in there. Oh, what a double touch. Look at that from First. He's caught this one on the bounce. Let's rewind and watch it again because the game's ended. But he's got a flip here off the ceiling, and he sees the challenge, so he goes for the double touch. But if he doesn't see the challenge, he'll go for a floor pinch, and this is a deadly combination. You see that? He's got the floor pinch lined up, but when the challenge comes in, he goes for a double instead, because that gets it around the challenge. Unbelievable. Unbelievable adaptation midair, and it's a combination of shots that I've been expecting to see, you know, gaining popularity this year. The double touch off the ground and the ground pinch. They are so good when you can do both of them. And pick whichever one's best on the fly. Okay, iRicky in the Octane this game. Wants to speed things up a bit, I'd say. Yeah, Daniel definitely top 5 as well. Daniel, iRicky, Firstkiller, AJ. That's another sick goal for First. Nothing iRicky can do about that. Don't know who I'd put in the last player in the top 5. I don't think Wiz has played anywhere near enough competition to be in there. Miles always a threat in competition in ones. I know Drees was making a great run in Fear's tournament that he did pretty recently. So yeah, probably any of those guys, or Lion Blaze. Lion Blaze, you can't forget him. When he puts the time in, he's always up there. Yeah, Firstkiller, AJ, iRicky, Daniel have all they've been playing ranked recently. You know, you can see them getting up there in the leaderboard, so I know they're all definitely in form. The exact top 5 is hard to say though when we haven't had competition for a while. Yeah, I got to give this to First. He's looked so impressive, so confident. And iRicky hasn't looked confident. I think game 1 iRicky was pretty good, very good actually. I think he did look confident, but Firstkiller was too good. He had, you know, his defense was unbelievable in that first game that we saw. And then game 2, yeah, iRicky fell off offensively just a touch. Firstkiller has, if anything, gotten better. Let's see how game 3 goes. Chicago first. Yeah, Chicago obviously part of the conversation after beating Drees recently. I was really impressed by Chicago's ones play. Really, really impressed. I'm sure you guys were as well. I mean, I'd be surprised if he could do that in a tournament, because being able to produce those kind of consistent results when you don't have that kind of teammate rivalry aspect would be a lot harder. I think the teammate rivalry like helped Chicago a lot because he wasn't nervous at all. He had nothing to lose. You know, if you lose to Drees in once, no big deal. You've never played, you never really grinded once, but Drees has. Oh, good read by iRicky. Firstkiller tried to fake this. And then maybe turn around for a quick shot down the middle while iRicky goes for a boost steal because they were, both were wanting to stay relevant for the boost race. iRicky just saw that Firstkiller was going to leave this. Plays for the direct goal. Oh, that's a great flick as well. iRicky 3-1. That is hard to stop. I mean, even with Firstkiller's reaction time, even with his insane goal line defense, you can't read those. You can't read those. It's still extremely sharp play from First overall. You know, he's down here, but he's looked like the quicker player. Ricky there deciding against an aerial shot. Probably the setup wasn't what he wanted. And he had a bit of a boost advantage there, so he went for a challenge. Will he regret that though? Because now he's given Firstkiller the entire pitch, and with that kind of space, Firstkiller is terrifying. Reset, and then he flies into a bump as well. Oh, so iRicky actually got underneath Firstkiller in that kickoff, so the wave dash recovery wasn't possible. That's really interesting to see. So the wave dash recovery kickoff's been gaining popularity. It does have a couple of weaknesses though. The biggest one being if the opponent doesn't actually go for a standard timing on their kickoff, if they just delay their approach, you just hit the ball into them and they can chip it past you. So it does, it does cause a little bit of problems. If you know that your opponent's coming in quick though, you're good. You're good to do a wave dash recovery kickoff. Hey Arsenal, how's it going, man? Wait. No, today's not day. I thought for a second today's day 0. No, that's tomorrow. Tomorrow's day 0. You looking forward to this regional, Arsenal? Congrats on the grid, mate. You got a pretty good group draw, I'd say. I think SSG, isn't it SSG phase and then 3 teams that they're all supposed to beat? Well, 3 teams that they're both supposed to beat? I think it is. It's a great challenge by Ricky there. You notice that Firstkiller couldn't see him coming in because he let the ball eclipse him on the approach. Oh, and he tried really hard to flick that over Firstkiller. No such luck. When is Gil playing SSG? Well, it's not SSG. Oh, hold on a second. Yep, not even close. No big deal. Yeah, we're going to do Emil versus OSM right after this game, so it's going to be very soon. We're going to start the show match. Best in Iceland 1v1. My money's on OSM. Personally, but I'm looking forward to seeing Emil play. It'll be my first time I've casted him. There's that hard hit from First again. I've been, telling you guys, you've always got to look out for those huge hits from Firstkiller. Not really excited, you say, but still trying to win it. Okay. Staying low-key about it. I like it. Great challenges by iRicky, but Firstkiller's bumped him, and his boost management was a bit faster, a bit better. Ricky's staying on this despite the fact that he's completely out of boost. He picked up a pad and that's all he's got. Wants to stay near the ball here. Doesn't want to give Firstkiller that space, but I think he might have to. Yeah, he might have had to do it there. This is getting tricky now. Firstkiller will put it in off the back wall. And that's why I say he might have to give him space, because it was to the point where a 50-50 wasn't going to get forced. He just went around him. And now iRicky's going to go for the boost and back infield for the ball. I don't think he's going to make it. Is he going to keep this up? Not with Firstkiller right there. Oh, the wall does it for him though. But he doesn't know exactly how much boost Firstkiller's got. Is Firstkiller starved? No, he does actually have 20. Seals away the 100. And then he gets underneath the wave dash. Well played by Firstkiller. Consistent end to the game. And he does take 3 ranked games in a row. What do you guys think? I think, personally, Firstkiller's looking good. Firstkiller's looking very good. That's some top form right there. iRicky was less consistent, definitely. I don't think that was his best performance in games. Well, game 2 was definitely not the best from Ricky. Games 1 and 3 were pretty good. Yeah, Firstkiller's defense is unreal. Those power shots, fast as ever.